Go.
Hi friends, I'm Mr. Fredo and today we're going to be learning about linear equations. So what are linear equations? Linear equations are a relationship between two variables. The way we see this in real life is, for example, when you work. The amount of hours you work will give you a certain amount of money. You have two variables, you have money and then you have the hours. You assigned the variables depending on what's dependent and what's independent. So let's go deeper into what that means mathematically. A way you will see linear equations written is ax plus by equals c, where x and y are variables and a, b, and c are constants. Another way you will see it written is y equals mx plus b, where y is the dependent variable and x is the independent variable. In the example of time and money, the money you earn is dependent on the time you work. So then the x is the time and then the y is the money. Then you have the y-intercept where the value of y is when x is 0. So for example, if you work 0 hours, you get 0 money. So that's a great representation of how these linear equations work. And that's represented by b. Let's solve some linear equations now. This is how I would solve linear equations based on how I learned math, but there's many ways to do this. So the way I would do it is by starting to isolate x. What I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So I subtract 3x from 4x, that will give me x. Then I subtract 5 from both sides, that will give me 5 minus 5 is 0, and then 10 minus 5 is 5, and that's how I get x equals 5. So let's do that one more time. Subtract 3x from both sides, you subtract 3x from here, 3x from there, you get x plus 5 equals 10, right? You got rid of this side x, and then you simplified this x to give you 1x. Then you subtract 5 from both sides, you get rid of this 5, you get 5 from this, 10 minus 5 equals 5. So it's x equals 5. That is the solution. So when you put 5 here, when you put 5 into the equation, you will get a y. The next problem is here. Sometimes you only have one term with an x, and it's more simple, but then there's other things you can encounter, like fractions, and we'll see how to solve those. So first, you subtract 5 from both sides. So again, 5 minus 5, that's 0. It leaves you with 5x. 16 minus 5 is 11. Then to get rid of the x here, you have to divide both sides by the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x is 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. So you get 1x. Then 11 divided by 5, when you put it in the calculator and simplify it, you get 2.2. So what you're going to do next is you're going to solve these problems using different steps, right? So you're going to use the rules of algebra that you've been learning for the past few weeks to solve for x using different methods, different steps, right? So I subtracted 3x from this both sides, right? So what can you do instead of subtracting 3x? What can you do first? So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to solve these two using your own methodology and your own steps. Great, thank you so much for taking your 5 minutes to do these. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use what you learned at the beginning of class about the different components of a linear function to create a graphic organizer, a chart, or a drawing that labels these equations, right? So you're going to tell us about where the y-intercept is at, where's the independent variable, where's the dependent variable, and you're going to put that in a graph or a diagram or a drawing so we can see it, and then we can share later. So I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to do that, 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll come back together and go on to the next activity. Great. Thank you so much for taking your time. You worked so hard during those 10 minutes. Now we're going to go into really wrapping this up in a creative way. What you're going to do now is, based on everything you learned, what a linear equation is, how to solve it in different ways, the diagrams on it. What you're going to do now is you're going to create a poster, a rap, a song, or a poem that summarizes what you've learned today about linear equations. We can use this rap, song, poem, or poster to share it with others so they can also understand it in creative ways. I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to work on this, and then we're going to move on. Great. Thank you everyone for your art, your music. It is very memorable. I know I'm going to use it for other students. Thank you so much for coming to class. Have a great day.